All right, so this is when I come into the trailer first thing in the morning, kind of glance over my freight, make sure nothing's torn up, make sure it's all strapped to the wall if it needs to be, just kind of look over everything real quick before I head out. Okay, so as usual, I'm heading out of the city. Got to bounce through a couple suburb areas, a couple small towns, and I think I drove about an hour and 15 minutes on this first stop, get up to this big plant. I usually hit their warehouse, drop off a piece of equipment, which is what I was doing here, and then head out of town to the next one. All right, we're at a brand new Dollar General. Gonna unload some equipment. So we're heading out of town, a little bitty town back there. We're heading about another 20 minutes. We'll get down to the next town we go to. I think we got one stop there at a factory. Town. I got a factory up here. It's actually a Johnsonville Bratwurst plant. We're gonna kick 2 pallets out real quick and go. Done here. Done headed out. Drop a couple pallets real quick. I like it when it's fast like that, nice and easy. We're gonna head up to a casino a few miles up the highway. So we knocked out that last delivery, little delivery at the casino. It had some damage. We had to get an exception for it. I'll have to go over that later, what that means. But we're heading about 20 miles north now to a very small little rural town. We're going to do one delivery at a mill up there and then head off to the next town. Okay, so we made it to this little town, little stop. It's a mill. They do a bunch of corn and grain and beans and stuff. Little bitty place, tiny little place out in rural Kansas. One delivery here, and then we're gonna head to the next town. It'll be another 15, maybe 17 miles to the next stop. All right, so we're moving down the highway here. A few more minutes, we'll be at the next town. Right on the edge of town, we got our next stop. It's a nursery, like a garden center. Kind of a tricky little place to get in and out of, but overall not too bad. And they're real nice folks. Usually goes pretty quick there. Well, we're at the nursery up here. Kind of tough to get down in there, so they're just going to bring the telehandler up here, pull the pallet right off the back. Real nice folks. Little Mennonite-owned nursery up here, obviously way out in the country. We got to turn around. This is the only spot to do it. Have to back in that little dirt hill. See how fast we can do it. Let's see how fast we can do this. What we got here? 12:25. How fast was that? 2 minutes. Done got her spun around. We're heading back out. 2 minutes. All right, we got out of there. We're back on pavement, heading to the next stop. We got about 12 or 13 miles to the next place. It's going to be out in the country. It's a nursery also, but they do a bunch of landscape work. Got a lot of contracting that they do. We usually take them materials and supplies. We got 2 pallets for them, and then we're gonna head another 8 to 10 miles to the next town. finished 2-skid delivery real quick back there at the landscape contractor place. Now we're gonna go, it's probably 10 or 12 miles in to the next town. We gotta go to a little downtown, it's a little kind of Main Street USA kind of environment, real tight. We're gonna catch it after lunch, so it should be okay. We gotta go to a little store. It's right on Main Street. It's a little electronics store. Take them 1 pallet. Sometimes that place is tricky to get into. Either way, it's a lift gate stop, so it'll take a couple extra minutes, but nothing too bad. Heading out, knocked out that stop, a little downtown. Now we are going about a 25-minute drive over to the next town. We got 2 stops over there. Both are going to be lift gate deliveries. I like coming out of town this way. It is a neighborhood, but it's a common used truck route that cuts through the neighborhood. A lot of these small towns are kind of like this. I like coming through these small towns on some of these truck routes because there's always kids out here running around trying to get me to honk my horn, and I'm happy to oblige. I got this little baby pallet. Once in a while you get something like this, little bitty guy. Again, lift gate, wheel it down the drive to an old folks home. That fast. Well, done back there. Hit two nursing homes real quick. Those are about 5 minutes each, real fast. 1 little pallet each. They were basically right next door to each other. And now we're heading to one of the towns we were at earlier. It's on the way back to the terminal. We're gonna head to that town. We gotta do a pickup over there. It should be pretty quick. It's one of those 5 to 10 minute deals. And then we'll be on the road back to the terminal. Well, we finished for the day. We swung into this factory. It's a place I go to pretty often. I'm familiar with it. We had just 1 little pallet to pick up in there. So we were a little short for our usual pickup amount, but we left our last stop just before 3. And we have about a 2-hour drive back to the terminal. So we'll get back to the terminal right there about 5 o'clock, go through the inspection lane, drop the trailer, kind of do all the things I got to do, put my jack away, all that stuff. So I'll be clocking out probably about 5:45, and that's another 10-hour day. That'll be about 10 hour, 15 minutes. There it is, 333 miles. Yep, another 10-hour day. That's about normal.